I'm on not a ton of sleep because I didn't. Flying from the West Coast to the East Coast sucks. The concert was Augment, followed by Nouveau Arcade, our band, followed by Rabbit Junk, who I believe is still with Fixed. Um, yeah, unfortunately, Augment stuff is not on Spotify. I was gonna lead out with them. Yeah, geez, where do I even begin? Taffy, how was your trip? It was fucking wild. It was a lot. I put some photographs up on the Cave Lounge. So the lead singer of Rabbit Junk, who we're listening to right now, is a has a doctorate and was a professor of law and hated it. And so he came back to Seattle from San Diego and started up a band with his wife. So this was Rabbit Junk during the sound check. It was not a big room. That's about the extent of it. This was Augment. It's a two-man act that was up on stage. These guys are most of the people in this was the only time on this trip, because I talked to a lot of people in the music industry while I was there, and I'd say, "Oh, right now I'm a professional content creator." And they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I stream on Twitch. I play video games." And they're like, "Oh, which video game?" And I'd say The Binding of Isaac was my main game for most of my career. And they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know that." This was like an emo, goth, industrial rock, synthwave, cyberpunk inspired stream concert. Everybody I talked to,
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
everybody I talked to in this crowd absolutely knew The Binding of Isaac. You'll be shocked to know that in this crowd filled with tattoos and black clothing and choker collars and
This is the story
cyberpunk
of the
prosthetics
newest
and
denizen
makeup
of the cave.
and daddy issues, myself included, all of these people knew what The Binding of Isaac was. Go figure. That's Nouveau Arcade. So, like, Augment was the opener. They brought in a pretty good crowd. People were vibing with it. Our guys took the stage. That's Lynn. That's Kevin. And man, it got to standing room only. They got in there, man. It got to be standing room only. And then this was, they brought out a bunch of balloons. So, like, for this album that's coming out, they had a local Seattle tattoo artist draw tattoo designs for each song on the album. And so on the black balloons, because they've got a lyric in Guns and Candy that's we'll have a party under black balloons. And so they had black balloons come out and handed them out amongst the crowd. I think it might have been Lynn's partner who did it. And they handed out all these black balloons with the Gaslight tattoo decal on them. It was so fucking hot inside that room. My man is 6'4", by the way. My man is 6'4". I have more photos. Hold on. Some of these, like, I pulled these from the conversation I had with Nate and Heather later, where I was just like, here are the handful of clips that I got. They had a videographer, and we had a social media specialist there. So I didn't feel as compelled to shoot just a shitload of content, which was my instinct. But there were two other people there who, like, took priority on getting that stuff over me. We had ourselves a little merch area set up. That the name of that song, Sideline Boyo, is Gaslight. It has not come out yet. Overwhelmed is this song. So, like, when I said that they had a tattoo artist come up with a design for every single track, this is the first one, is Gaslight. And the name of the album is going to be Die Happy. I will say this about Rabbit Junk's merchandise. It's very clean. You know me with 99 Lives. I'm a sucker for pink on black. But also their hoodies have a real Tina Belcher thing going on, where the name of the act is Rabbit Junk. And then they got beanies with rabbit ears on them that they sell out at the table. And then the person who was handling their merchandise was just like super nice to us. We had some good stuff. We had stickers, keychains, necklaces, votive candles. We had matchbooks with the Gaslight logo on them. And then we had shirts come in. So not bad. And they got this nifty little neon sign. There's Marsha at her first ever goth, industrial rock, synthwave, cyberpunk concert. She found a little corner seat, and I just kind of stood guard next to her the whole time. But she was the trooper. She was in this hot-ass, cramped performance space, and she found a little corner seat and was genuinely plugged in the whole time, where she was just like, she was just like, it was a curiosity to her. You know what I mean? Like, she was in this room filled with the nicest goth emo kids you could ever hope for. All of them being incredibly, yeah, exactly, Wednesday. I tried to explain that to her when she came in. I was just like, you're gonna be surrounded by like goth emo metal fans, and it's gonna be the room full of the most considerate, like, othered group of individuals who are so sick of being ostracized that they just make their own community. And of the utmost importance is the overwhelming desire to make people feel welcome. And since you look like most of their moms, I'm willing to bet they would be very kind to you. And then in fact they were. People like Nate brought her this one, but people were bringing her water all night long and checking in on her. She made friends with a blonde rocker named Amy, who kind of like stood watch over her while I was bouncing around doing stuff around the venue. And then, yeah, the photos that as they were coming in, the boys really packed them in there. Our friend from a different label was watching the show, and his take was, the moment these guys ended was, he said, this stage is too small for them. We have to get them in front of bigger audiences. People really piled in there. Augment, there we go. There's the name of the opening act. I wish I could have played their music for you, but yeah, they're not on Spotify, which kind of hampers things. Everybody was super kind. Everybody was very welcoming. God, yeah. I love that shot. Proud of myself for that shot, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, little kids at metal concerts are treated like little tiny emperors. Okay, so she made friends with this girl named Amy. And then Amy comes and grabs me and she's like, I need to talk to you for a second. It's about your mom. And I was like, oh shit, what is it? And she was just like, oh, nothing. It's just that across the hallway is their second performance venue called The Big Room. And it's a rave. Right now, they're not going too terribly hard, but the room is air conditioned and there's a leather couch. So mom went across the hallway to her first ever rave, carrying the Gaslight black balloon. And it was super nice and cool in this room. The air conditioning was blasting in here. And the other room was like a hot breath sauna. It was, I was genuinely concerned for her health. It was so hot in that other room. Yeah, she held the balloons all night. She just wanted to support the boys. She showed up in like a church outfit, but I was just like, you know, just wear black, mom. And this is what she showed up with. And to her credit, man, she said she had a really good time. And I don't think she's lying to me. Like, she genuinely had like a very real, like, holy shit, this is crazy smile on her face the whole time. Oh, I don't know that we're going to get her to a lot of metal concerts from here on out, but I will say that she would have told me if it were not her cup of tea, and she was genuinely surprised at how much she enjoyed herself. Because everybody was so kind, and because, you know, I don't want to say because we were important there, but because we were kind of suits at this thing, people did treat her kindly as though she was a part of the group. Here we go. We found a black light. We found a black light where a blacklight artist was doing like blacklight art on people's arms and face and stuff like that. And I had mom come show up in front of the blacklight so I could send this to dad and be like, oh no, dad, Jesus lost her to the metal. It's like, I'm so sorry, Dad. Her soul's been filled up with the spirit of the beast. I'm afraid you're not going to get her back, not the way you knew her. There's Nate, and there's the Augment guys hanging out by their merch table. So anyway, my bad. I didn't realize which screen we were on. This covers up OBS. Yeah, there's the Augment guys in the background. There's Nate. Merch table was hopping after their set was over. For an audience of like 200 people, give or take, we did about $1,000 in merchandise sales in basically like 20 minutes. That dude is genuinely very attractive. Lead singer of Rabbit Junk. There's our boys. Speaking of attractive, there's our lads. Lynn's got such like an awesome Depeche Mode style voice. Curls, this dude is like 6'5". It's funny because these guys are like, I won't say soft-spoken, but they're like reserved, kind of quiet individuals, and then they get on stage. Like, Kevin's a very soft-spoken guy. And like, Lynn is very intentional with how he speaks. But then they get up on stage, man, and they are fucking in their element, man. It is wild. It sounds so clean live, doesn't it? I was shocked at how good it sounded live. I was genuinely shocked at how clean their sound was for a live performance. It sounds like that shit's playing off Spotify. Hey, JJ, what's going on, friend? I swear to God, I'm circling back around to all the subs and gifted subs. I promise. You know me, though. I just got to get through everything that's in my head. I could not get that doggo home, sadly. He's got a great, like, scream voice, too. For having, like, such a terrific, dreamy synthwave sound. When he's got to belt out some metal, he belts out some metal. Yeah, just clean audio, man. Clean audio. Oh, that's a great shot. I love that.
This is the story of the newest denizen of
Spitfire,
the
tier 152 months. Thank you so much. There's Augment. This dude was super nice. I talked to this dude for like an hour after the show was over, just about video games and whatnot. Oh, that's the blacklight artist. That shit was so cool. Yeah, they brought in a blacklight artist who just put like spray paint blacklight art on your body. Damn. Damn, what a shot. Yeah, sorry, this is Rabbit Junk. This is not even our guys, but what a shot. Holy tits, that's a great shot. Good grief. Ah, he's so fine. What an attractive dude. That's his missus. There's Lynn, giving it the business, man. Oh, it was so fucking hot in that space. Kevin Muggin. Good for him. Good for him. Our boys tore it up. They did so good. The DJ that was playing in between the sets, Marsha tipped him. My mom was just like, oh, it's so nice of him to play songs in between the sets so that we have something to listen to. Ryan, go put this in his tip jar. I was like, yes, ma'am. Like I said, the merch table was hopping afterwards. This was EXO. EXO ran the table for us and did a great job. There's Rabbit Junk wrapping up their set. Yeah, it's so cool. It was a good night. It was a very, like, kind of small, like, I say cramped. It was a very, like, oppressive space because of the amount of, like, hot air that was in it. But it was still fun. Burn corpo shit. Hell yeah. I was in the right place. I was in the right place for sure. Yeah, what did we do for food? Jack in the Box the first night. And then the next day we went in to Jack in the Box twice. Once just because it was what was open. It was what was open after the concert, like that late. We got home at like Marcia and I went to bed after the concert at 5:30 in the morning. Marcia flew into town. We went and got her. We went to Dough Zone. Marcia had dim sum for the first time. She'd never had soup dumplings before. And she knocked down soup dumplings and cold sesame noodles and pork buns, and gyoza and not wontons. Yeah, wontons. Spicy wontons. Like sesame, hot oil cucumbers. I don't remember what we did for lunch the day that we ended up getting Thai food. Yeah, I think we just skipped lunch that day. Oh, that's right. You and me and Heather went out to have drinks with the president of Sub Pop. We went to go get Weird and White Center. So my lunch that day was 2 Bloody Marys. Yo, Small, you're gonna have a blast. Honestly, if you get a nice big plane with an entertainment center, flying, which is not a totally pleasant experience, goes so much faster. Then on the way back, we got several $100s worth of delicious Thai food. They put me in charge of ordering for like family style eating, so we did everything from like pad thai to pad prik pao to masamong curry, pork jerky, chicken satay, larb. We did larb, a couple of different noodle dishes. It was all very spring rolls, fresh rolls. Very, very good. And then the next day we all slept in, ate leftover Thai food for lunch, and then went to a place called Cornelli for dinner, which was an Italian joint. This was the I think the hot honey pizza, the hot honey pepperoni that Nate got. But it's all handmade pasta. It's all handmade pasta and handmade dough, and I actually think we sat right there. actually genuinely think I was sitting where this bald-headed dude was. They're in the middle of their soft launch at the moment. I had a tagliatelle with braised pork shank and sage in a citrus cream sauce and a lovely glass of Chianti, which was very good. But genuinely this time around, like, there were grand designs on food, but the impetus was on music. And then we kind of just fit food in where we could. That's more or less it.